Hey viewers, welcome to another game of CasualProGamer. Today we're doing Lightning Strike, which is today's daily challenge of Bloons Tower Defense 5. And this is all about how good you are with the Dartling gun. So I am terrible with the Dartling gun and you will see that. This first wave should be no problem. You just, first you shoot at the first ones. And then you start shooting back to front, because then you get one group of balloons and you will pop all of them. Because obviously you have a lot of penetration going. We're starting off with a 2-2 Dartling monkey here. You have a lot of penetration, but there is not a lot of penetration to be had because, well, your position is almost perpendicular to the balloon's path. So yeah, there's that. So you can't really have a whole lot of balloons in your line of fire. Anyhow, what we're doing here is just setting up that spike factory, which is useful at any time, so clock time, except for 12 o'clock. 12 o'clock is really the hardest wave, because they will just completely circumvent all of the spikes from your spike factory, and that makes it pretty hard. So I'm going to make a few mistakes here. I will point them out once they come to pass, and for the rest, yeah, it is pretty much, as I said, all about how good you are with your Dartling guns, because in the early game, that's all damage you have. And you do have some of the spike factory, of course, and then we're adding on 3 and 2, 3 and 0 first, then 3 and 2 airplane. And all in all, that makes it a lot easier, and in the end part of the game, yeah, the shooting will not be that important anymore. So my mistakes that I will make is focusing the wrong balloons. We already saw one, but that was a minor one. If you focus the wrong balloons, or you let too many balloons through at the same time, your spike factory will not be able to handle it, and that is your basic mistake. Like here, I focused the wrong wrong group. I needed to focus the front more, but I tend to let them through, because then the spike factory will actually have something to do. It will lose some spikes and it will be able to produce more, instead of just sitting there with the maximum amount of spikes that it can have. Anyhow, as you can see, we are still wiping it out. We have 2 2 and 1 Dartling gunners and 1 3 and 2. So the 3 and 2 is obviously the one with the laser, and that is the one we're going to keep until the end of the game. The rest you should see as just money at this point. I mean, they're about 2,500 each, and if you sell them, that is. So if you're missing 2,500, you should just sell them and everything will be okay. 81 lives left. We're going to go lower here, I believe, because I do remember that I actually made a big mistake at one of the rounds by letting a big group through. I just didn't see that it was such a big group, because I was fast forwarding everything, and that makes it kind of hard to estimate how many balloons are in there, and obviously that is not something you want. So what we're doing here is we're saving up for a big airplane. We want a 4-2 airplane. And obviously, by the way, we are focusing one Moab at a time. So don't just pop all Moabs and hope that the spike factory will pick up the rest. No, just kill the entire Moab before you go on to the next one. And there I almost had the same problem. And there you go. Another 10 lives lost. But we do get our big airplane. So 71 lives now. And the thing is, if you are good with the Dartling gun, you can probably do this without losing, well, more than 10 lives. Probably, yeah, that's a good estimate. But I am terrible with the Dartling gun, mostly because I just don't practice it enough. And I normally build a whole bunch of them, just because it's fun. I mean, if I build them, I build a whole bunch of them. And there was the big group. As you could see, I almost lost there, because I was already at 71 lives, and that was just a huge group of balloons that just got through. I didn't see how many there were, because, well, I just saw the group in a flash and I was like, okay, it's not too big of a group, but there were a lot of balloons in there. So 48 lives, and I'm assuming I'm going to stay at that, almost at my 4 and 2 spike factory, and there you go. Now we have a spike factory that can actually take some damage. So here I'm just spreading my damage around a bit so that my airplanes will be able to take it out. You have to keep the airplane's position, the big airplane, of course the other one doesn't matter. Keep the airplane's position, well, in consideration when you're trying to target something, because they will shoot at the balloon that's closest to them, and that may not always be obvious which one that is, but it is the one that you should be shooting at as well. Anyway, hope you enjoyed, and I will see you next time. GG.